Good morning. It's like mine is 15 or something. But we're having our morning coffee, and I have a fun adventure for us today. We spend a lot of time in this cabin, don't we? Today, we're gonna go into Longyearbyen. We're gonna be tourists, guys. I wanna show you what it's like to come here and visit as a tourist, the best I can. I'll show you some options of what you can do. I'm gonna show you some the places that I like to eat at. We're gonna have a full day of fun in the village, also showing you activities outside of the village. It's gonna be like your travel guide.
But before we get started, a quick introduction. My name is Cecilia, this is Grim, and this is my boyfriend Christoffer, and we live on Svalbard, an archipelago close to the North Pole. Yes, we have polar bears here. This Arctic island has been my home for the last 6 years, and we live in a cabin located 10 minutes outside of the main village Longyearbyen. Today, I'm going to show you why you need to put this place at the top of your travel list.
So today, we're gonna spend a full day in the village as if you were a tourist or like a village local. But first of all, MSI sent me this beautiful Creator Z16 laptop, and this is going to come with us today, and this video is sponsored by MSI. Also, if you're coming here, you're probably going to book a hotel, right? So I'm going to give you my 3 tips on where to stay depending on different kind of preference or budget. There's about, I think, 10 or more hotels here, but these 3 are just within the theme that I've chosen. So first we have, for fancy hotel, Funken, because I've stayed there. I think it's a great hotel. It's very much modern, like modern on the mainland. Beautiful. So not very Svalbard, but if you want fancy and a really nice stay, I would stay there. It's pretty expensive, but most of the hotels kind of are this time of year. For budget, I would choose Guest House 102. I love the staff working there. They're absolute sweethearts. It's located quite far away from the village, or the furthest up to Nybyen. But if you want to spend a little less money, that's going to be a cheaper and a budget option for you. The third hotel that I'm going to tell you about is Base Camp, and that is because it's kind of like a theme hotel. It's Svalbard theme, so everything is in this trapper style. The rooms have no modern amenities, so they don't have like a TV and everything, and it's the perfect place if you want to come here on like a theme vacation. Also, if you just want a nice place, but it's definitely not like your modern TVs everywhere and, you know, gadgets. It's stripped down, it's Svalbard, it's rugged, it's wood everywhere. So that's Base Camp. They're all in different areas of the village. So those are my 3 tips on hotels. The key features that I'm very excited to test out with this and see how it works and how it kind of does out in the real world is the incredible display. This has the richest colors that I've seen in a really long time, and this just looks gorgeous. Also, it has a touch screen. This is touch screen. I've never had a touchscreen computer. The ports. Ports are really important to me as a content creator, as I often plug in extra equipment like microphones and edit off of hard drives. On the Creator Z16 you have a good amount of ports, like the micro SD card slot, 2 USB ports, as well as USB-C that also supports Thunderbolt 4. When we head into town and I'm going to look at my footage later, I'll just bring one USB-C cable and I'll just plug it right in. So now we should just put on everything that we need and head into town, and I'm going to show you around and show you what I think you should do if you're coming here as a tourist. I'm also going to show you the prices, and I'm going to try to give you budget options so you can do it like one full out and one if you want to come here and experience it but you want to do it on a budget. So I'm going to do my best to show you both of those. So let's head to the village.
the best ones in town. You have to get one when you go to Fruene. You have to get a little polar bear chocolate. It's white chocolate. They make all of their own chocolate, right?
Yeah.
It goes perfectly with your coffee. And now, this is how we're starting the day. A little bit of chocolate and a coffee. I feel like this is the perfect start to being a tourist in our own little village.
Go get a coffee.
Go get a coffee. Exactly. Coffee and a snack. So we're ready for the day. Gorgeous. Okay, so let's take our coffees and go for a little bit of a village walk. Longyearbyen isn't the biggest of villages, so it's the perfect morning activity to pick up a coffee and then go for a walk around town. The views are breathtaking with Hjortfjellet as a backdrop and the surrounding mountains. Along the main street you can find shopping, food options, as well as a supermarket and a couple of hotels. If you walk all the way up to Nybyen, which is at the top of the village, you get this beautiful view. It's a little bit of uphill the whole way, but it is a nice walk. In Nybyen there is also an art gallery and the budget accommodation guest house 102 that I spoke about before. After our walk, it was time for lunch, and in town you have a couple of different options for lunch, like you can go to Kroa or the pub down at the Radisson Hotel, you can go to Fruene, but we decided to go to Stationen today because the decor is really nice and we also wanted to try out their new lunch menu. So we tried their Skagen toast, their eggs royale and also their Finnbiff, which I don't know what you would call in English. These dishes together with 2 Coke Zero cost a total of 660 Norwegian kroners, which is $74 and 67 euro. Your budget alternative for lunch could be to go to the supermarket and pick up a sandwich. That's gonna cost only 39 kroners, so that's a way to save a little bit of money. Then it was time to bring out the Creator Z16 to look at some activities to do. If I was visiting Longyearbyen, I would have made sure to book all my adventures beforehand just to make sure that there is availability. So I'm going to give you my recommendations on activities. But before we do that, let's just talk about this laptop for a minute. For me, when using a laptop, some things are extra important. First of all, a vibrant and clear display is vital for all the photo and video editing that I do, and then also portability so I can easily bring it around with me on the go. The Creator Z16 has nailed both of those. The display is gorgeous to look at, it's super bright in all the different lighting conditions I've come across, and it has a special sort of richness to the colors. The laptop itself is very well built and weighs only 2.2 kilos. It doesn't feel fragile and it doesn't feel bulky. There's a lot of power packed into this slim build. But now let's look at some activities to do in Longyearbyen. This time of year on Svalbard from March till May is called sunny winter. It's the time to head out on epic snowmobile trips and explore the frozen world that Svalbard has to offer. I highly recommend going on a snowmobile trip to, for example, the East Coast. It's quite a long trip that takes you through valleys and over glaciers and gives you incredible views of the Svalbard landscape. It also gives you a good chance to see a polar bear. Keep in mind, however, that there are no polar bear excursions, as seeking one out is illegal. There are many different companies doing these tours, and just to give you an example about the price, if you go with Svalbard Adventures, it's going to be about 3,900 for one person and their own snowmobile. Another adventure I would highly recommend is going to an ice cave. There are many different ice caves and types of trips, but the one to Trollsten and the ice cave in the Lars Glacier is one I do often. It's amazing. If you book this tour, for example, with Svalbard Wildlife Expedition, it's going to cost you 1,400 kroners per person, but it really is an amazing experience to see the frozen world inside a glacier. What I think surprises many is how much the village comes alive at night in the high season. Many are out on trips during the day, but in the evening, all the restaurants are full of people and the atmosphere is great. If you're interested in heading out to a bar to get a drink and socialize, head to Carlsberger Pub, also known as KB, for a really nice ambiance. You can also stop by Svalbard or the Radisson Pub if you're in the mood to do a little Longyearbyen pub crawl. Or after a full day of activity, perhaps you've just come home from a long snowmobile trip, it's nice to head back to the hotel and relax for a little bit before dinner in the evening. We headed to Funken, one of my favorite places in the village, especially just to hang out in their bar area and common areas. The atmosphere is calm and it just has a really good vibe. Their bar menu is also perfect for a light dinner or a snack.
This has been such a fun day. I think we need to do this more often. Just eat our way through the village. It's pretty much what we've done. We've just gone from place to place, have some food, have some coffee, walk through the streets. And I mean, every time I walk down the street, I look at it like I've never seen it before, like the mountains and the beautiful scenery. I don't think I'll ever get over it. It's just that beautiful. But this day is coming to an end. We are now at Funken for the evening. So we're gonna sit here and we're just gonna do some work. I'm gonna edit a little bit of the footage that I just got. I'm gonna show you on this screen and looking at the drone footage I got with the colors. It's incredible. One thing that I'm very impressed with this computer is the screen. It just is so crisp. And also the fact that it's a touch screen. It amazes me every single time I realize it. I'm like, wait a minute, I can just click, click. The battery also, we're at like 70% right now. We've used it the whole day. We haven't done a lot of heavy stuff. We've just pretty much Googled stuff and looked at photos, but it's been with me and I haven't charged it, I think, since yesterday or like 2 days ago. I'm just really impressed. So now I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna look at the drone footage that we got from today, from just a minute ago, because I wanna see how it turned out. And we're gonna look at that together. And then we're gonna have something to eat here. We're gonna chill out. And then I think that's gonna be the end of today. It's starting to become nighttime now. We would have checked into the hotel if it wouldn't have been $500 for a night. We've stayed here before, but now that it's fully booked, or like almost fully booked, the prices are crazy. So we thought, you know what, we'll just eat our way through the village and we'll stay another night when it's not that expensive. So always before like a sunny winter season or any high season up here, you book a year in advance. You just have to do that. It's usually also fully booked 1 year in advance. So that's good to know. But now I'm gonna put it to the test and do some editing, which I think is gonna go brilliantly because it has 32 gigabytes of ROM, which is very important. Otherwise it can't really, well, 16 gigabytes works too, but 32 it's very good for editing. So it can handle all of the heavy workflow and all of the big files, everything is shot in 4K and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna do brilliantly. I think I need to get a drink of some sort, maybe a coffee or like an apple juice. Christoffer is also here, by the way. He's chilling. He's eating a steak sandwich. I'll show you the food we just had. Thank you so much for watching this video. It's been so much fun showing you around and just having a good time today, doing something different. Let me know in the comments what you want us to do in the future, if you want us to show something specific from Longyearbyen. And also, this computer is linked in the description, so just head to the description to check it out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. We will see you guys in the next video. Now we're gonna look at some beautiful drone footage to just end this beautiful day in the Arctic. Bye.